I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, if we could go ahead and take a roll call.
Just one moment while we unmute everybody.
Sure.
Miss Arnold and Miss Fernandez, if you wouldn't mind unmuting so we can take roll.
Hearing anybody.
Fernandez?
Okay. That should be. Miss Arnold, if you wouldn't mind unmuting so we can take roll. I see that you're here with us. Just want to confirm that you're present.
Okay. Fernandez? I don't know if we can count her as here. I don't know how it works.
Can we see if Commissioner Arnold can hear us, or Johnson?
She actually is gone now, so.
She's gone?
I
I
think
don't know
she'll
if,
try logging back in, but she just
Okay.
temporarily left, I think.
but we need at least one of them to be here, or two of them for.
A quorum. Okay.
Johnson, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys just fine.
Okay.
You sound
Just
good.
want to make
too.
sure. I don't know if we should wait a second.
You're going to need everybody to speak up to get a quorum.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the meeting is, we're not voting on anything particularly
I know
important, but
Fernandez is up north, so she might be having like some.
Yes, sir. No, I'm here. I didn't want to speak without being, told to say something.
Oh, you sound loud and clear.
Not
Thank
you.
Yeah, he-
Sorry. Yeah, we just.
Giovanni came in loud and clear.
Yeah, we
need
heard
to-
you. Thank
You
you.
need to hear that. The chairman can't declare a quorum
Yeah.
until he hears that.
Okay, Michelle Arnold's joining.
Looks like Fernandez checked back in.
Yes. Hi, how are you? It's Mindy. I figured it out. I had to
There
turn off
you
my
go.
phone.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
You sound good. And Commissioner Arnold is.
She's back.
Hi, yep, I just dropped off and came right back on.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead with the
I'm
roll call.
gonna try again. Arnold,
Here,
Fernandez,
Yes.
There you
Johnson,
Here.
Macy. Here. Auroric,
Here.
Palmer, and Robertson. All right, so we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any requests for agenda changes for this evening? Okay. If we could go ahead and approve the minutes for the May 9th meeting, we need somebody to put forth a vote and then a second.
So moved. Fernandez.
Thank you.
I will second it, Commissioner Johnson.
Thanks. Okay. If we can go ahead and do a roll call vote on minutes.
We're good. You don't need a roll call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we can move into audience participation.
All right.
Look, I'll participate in the audience because I'm staff, but I'd like to, what we missed at the beginning of the meeting, I'd like to make sure that we introduce who's here in the audience. We have one of our council members who's present tonight, too. And he is?
So in attendance with us, for staff, we have HR Administrator and Deputy City Clerk Miranda Gross. To my right, DPW Superintendent Dan Ladd. And also with us in attendance, we have Councilmember Woods, and electronically, Parks and Recreation Commissioners.
That's
thanks.
all we need. That's all I had. Didn't want to get that.
Oh, and Deputy Chief Heather Kolke.
Great.
Well, Acting Chief Kolke, excuse me.
There we go.
Acting Chief of Police.
Well done.
She's acting Chief of Police, yes.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any unfinished business?
We do not.
Okay, we'll move into new business. Does anybody have, I have a couple things to add, but any new business out here?
Staff doesn't have anything. No, we're going to give a report on pretty everything. Any new business comes up, the ladies are going to give you a report on what
Okay.
we've been doing, and we'll talk about a little bit what we need to do in the next coming few days.
Okay, perhaps what I want to say doesn't fall under new business. I'm trying to figure out where it goes, so I'll just get on it right now. I want to give a lot of recognition to the staff at the City of Walled Lake and to Dan Ladd and his DPW group. First and foremost, the flags around the city look fantastic, and you had showed those to us at our last meeting, and they're stunning, and they're everywhere. And I think that shows a lot of pride in our community, and I want to thank you for taking the initiative to get those into our city and get them all over the place. I think they look great. The Easter egg hunt, I'd like to thank Jennifer Stewart, Dan Ladd and his DPW staff, Ms. Hawkways, Hannah, Miranda, the city council members that came out, the city council members' families who came out. Commissioner Arnold, I know your family was out there. It was great to have everybody join together, and I think it made it really successful. And I think you two in particular did a great job of organizing that entire Easter egg hunt. And I think there was more people there than I think I've ever seen attend an event. You know, the petting zoo, the jump tower, the 3 different sections for the Easter egg hunts. It was just done very, very well, so thank you for that. Moving on to the Memorial Day Parade, controlling chaos at its finest. I want to thank everybody for that as well. We had more groups out there than I think ever in the past, and I had the good fortune of riding in the parade this year, and it was line-to-line people from the start all the way down to the end. And again, your ability and your commitment to make sure that event ran seamlessly didn't go unnoticed, so I want to thank everybody for that as well. And I think that was it from just the thank you and recognition part, but really appreciate what everybody does. Thanks for that. And I wasn't sure if anybody else had any comments from the Parks and Rec Commission before we move on.
I'm going to add to what he did. I'm here tonight to give recognition to my staff, but we'll do that somewhere after they give this report. You did a good job of saying everything that I wanted to say. I'm really proud of those 2 ladies over there put it together.
Absolutely.
Miranda Gross organized from the very beginning. What'd you call it? Chaos? Organized
chaos.
It's
Yes.
great. I steal that line. You'll hear that again, and I'll claim it.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of people that helped out in a great way, and our city council member here, that beautiful Jeep, or no,
Bronco.
wait, it was a green Jeep, right?
Nope, close.
Oh, it was a Bronco,
Think
right?
Ford, yep.
He's a Ford guy, right? You know? So, but for him, we would have had closed-in vehicles because it didn't go the way, it never does. But there that beautiful Bronco was, and you saw Marielle Lou, who they'll thank, Marielle Lou, who's one of our residents. She's also a very favorite anchor, Fox 2 News. And she was our grand marshal. The mayor was right there beside her and all of that. And because our council member was good enough to let us use that, he actually walked in the parade. But for him, we would have been closed in. But I think that made the parade coming out of it. So that vehicle, it was a Jeep, a Ford. I'm sorry, the Bronco. That was good, But the real credit goes to, in terms of organizing a chaos, Miranda Gross, right there. She's not only deputy clerk, she's the de facto recreation director and human resource director, staffed with my assistant, direct assistant, Hannah Jakeway backed her up, and then we had great staff. The police were there, the DPW set it up. I mean, everybody did their part. And as I'm coming up, and for the first time in 12 years, I rode in the parade. I was the second car to make it so, and I was absolutely stunned that there were 3-4 deep coming up the road.
Yeah.
And I believe that was a bigger turnout than we've ever had in terms of people. And it was a humble Walled Lake parade, but the turnout was great, and the organized chaos turned out to be perfect.
Yeah.
And we owe Ms. Gross, I know I'm embarrassing you, but she did a really good
Yeah, you
job.
did.
And
You guys did
all
an
that means is you have to do it again next year.
Yeah.
So-
I wonder, did you like the staging area better than in the past? It seemed like there's more room over there.
Yeah, I agree. There was a lot more room, yes.
That,
Yeah.
the staging area is the hardest part, and when you're doing that downtown, and this worked out well, and she's the one that put all that figures up and put people where want to be, and some people don't want to be where you put them, but you saw a little bit of that. But it really went well, and she stood fast, and she stood strong, and everybody did their job. I was really proud of what went on, and so, but those two ladies sitting over there, they organized the chaos, and getting it ready was Dan Ladd and his team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the police kept that going. Chief led the parade. Chief of police led the parade, and and I think people were pretty surprised that it went that well. And of course, we had the ceremony, for the fallen. I thought that went well. Marielle Lou was there. The mayor gave her speech, so it went well. I think we're going to let Ms. Gross give us a little update on the parade. We all know that, and I think I've bragged on you enough tonight. Maybe not enough, but you ready to give if the chairman's ready to give your report?
And I'll just add to what these two said. I mean, being my first year in the commission, being part of both those Easter egg hunt and the parade, I thought it went excellent. I didn't get a chance to watch a parade because I was lining up people in the back, and I couldn't get there fast enough. But at least I got to see it go off. So.
That was your first parade?
Yeah.
It was as good as any we had in the past. It truly was, and we were just trying to get a parade going. We were afraid because we moved it, but it looks like that's the place for the future.
Seems like it.
It was a straight shot. The people were 3 or 4 deep in most places.
They stayed around till the end. We were at the very end, and everybody was there, so
Yeah.
it was.
Mr. Macy, if you weren't able to watch the parade, one of our DDA board members, Mr. Jerry Millen from the Greenhouse, was actually able to record the parade, and he got some really good footage that I'd like to share with the commission, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, thanks.
And today, actually, we are at the 2022 Walled Lake Memorial Day Parade. Haven't had a parade in Walled Lake for 2 years. I will be emceeing a little bit today. We got my good friend, former Detroit Red Wing, Darren McCarty, in the house.
What's up, Jay?
He's in the parade. A good friend, Marielle Lou from Fox 2. She is the Grand Marshal.
Yes.
And of course, we have Hampton, Marielle's dog.
Superstar.
Let's check out the parade.
There you go.
There you go. That's that.
So obviously we're here to, honor all of our servicemen and women that have fallen, that are serving for us now. But what does Memorial Day mean to you guys?
Well, I think that you nailed it right there. It's community. And I think being out here in Walled Lake, it's one of the greatest communities, obviously, with your involvement. But this is what it's all about, I think. People
Parade.
coming together, compassion, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
So.
And Al is our Grand Marshal.
Yeah. Listen, I am so excited, and I feel the same way. This is so good to see the unity and to see how many people are coming together, especially after the last 2 years that we had. Even though the meaning of this day is more somber, I think people are still taking the spirit of that and pushing that into a positive place. Doesn't it feel like that
It
out
does.
here?
People are excited.
Oh my gosh.
It's
There
gonna
are
be
so
fun.
many people lined up
I know,
outside.
it's crazy out there. I want to thank you, Marielle, for coming and doing this.
No problem.
And I want to thank Darren McCarty. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Very nice. Mr.
Hey, it's
Miller,
Jerry.
what a great community man he is for us, so that's wonderfully put that together, and thanks to him.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we want to just talk about the parade now, we can, now that we're
Sure.
on the subject
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
So yes, like you said earlier, the staging area, I think it worked out great. I have done the parade in the past, and lining people up downtown Walled Lake along those streets was actually more chaos than I think it was this year. So I did like the setup for the layout, and I wanted to thank people as well. Mr. Ladd and his crew helped a lot with the setup, and even beforehand, I know they were out there long hours cutting the grass, making sure everything was looking good for the parade. And Hannah, she helped out a lot during the day of, and Miss Stewart helped out as well. And most of the Parks and Rec Commission was there helping out. Mr. Macy, thank you. I know you missed the parade, but I really did appreciate all of your help. There was a lot going on down there, and it was much appreciated. And Marielle Lou did come out. She was super nice. I appreciate being able to meet her, and I'm glad she was able to be our Grand Marshal. I think the route was good. Like you said, there was a lot of people like out in the crowd. There was a lot of applicants this year. It was good to have it back this year.
Mario Lou made sure that we got TV coverage.
Yeah,
that
a lot.
That was on Fox 2. Again, she's proud of her city. She's lived here for some time. So we got Fox 2 news coverage on, like they played a little clip, just a little bit on every segment. So we did get some press out of that. So it was a good choice. And the pictures of her in the Bronco are terrific. Those are the ones that we should keep on the web for a while to show what we did. But the Bronco really made the day. The closed car doesn't do the same thing as what we saw. So we think Ryan.
Yes, thank you,
Wood.
Councilmember Woods, for allowing us
Yeah,
to use your vehicle.
Yeah, well, I didn't point out earlier. I think everybody saw it was as the DDA member Jerry Millen. He was the driver as well. So you had that 3 people there that were interesting folks driving. And then Councilmember Wood walked. I think he brought his kids and the family and everybody, and so did Fernandez. Councilmember Fernandez, they walked. So
Yeah, I think it was great.
thank you, Miranda. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
You made the team look good.
I had a lot of help, and I appreciate all of it. Do you have anything to add, Dan or Hannah?
No, I think everything went really well. It was probably the best parade I've seen and witnessed in 22 years of being here, so
Yeah.
it was good.
Yes.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you. Did you want to go back to Riley Park?
Yeah, we can walk right
Playground?
through your bullet points.
Okay. So we'll go back to the Riley Park Playground Equipment Upgrade presentation. I did put together a PowerPoint for you guys tonight. Hannah's going to get that pulled up on the screen. So before the old playground equipment was torn out, I went down there and got some pictures of the equipment. So we can go ahead and show you some of the old equipment, and then there's some of it being torn down, and then there's also some of the new equipment up. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, just give us one moment here.
Okay. Now a couple of
Still not on the
Zoom.
full screen on there.
Oh. Let's see. Let me escape. We can just look at from here then. This will work. Let me just move this to the side. Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's good.
Okay.
Do you want to go? So here's some of the benches that were down there before. As you can see, the paint is not looking so great there. And then these are some pictures of the equipment. I know they're not super big. It's kind of hard to see, but
I think what these pictures demonstrate is how much of just repair that the old equipment was and how much of an upgrade and enhancement that the new equipment has brought to Riley Park, which we are getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it was good equipment in its day, but it ran its course and served well for us, so it's fun to see the advancements.
I just wanted to point out here's some pictures of it being torn down, and thank you to our DPW staff for doing that for us.
Yeah.
That's Miranda. Running tobacco.
Was she really? Way to go.
I helped.
She does everything. you know?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
We all wear many hats.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, some great pictures there. I just wanted to include like the rubber matting material, so that's kind of a close-up of it.
So that is an OSHA-approved fall-safe material for playgrounds.
Okay, perfect. Looks great.
Very nice and new.
Oh, yeah.
Fresh. And then here's some pictures. I included the new bench. Obviously, that looks a lot better than the bench in
can-
the first picture.
Dan can get rid of some paintbrushes now.
Yes, those look a lot nicer. They look
Yeah, those
more
look
durable. Don't mind the orange fencing in the background. We were still taking that down at the time, but as you can see, it's definitely an improvement there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I think, yeah. I
Is
think
that,
that's
well, and
pretty
City
much all.
Council did a wonderful job of picking out equipment, and I'm not sure what the evaluation process was like, but it looks fantastic, and it's fun to see.
If you've been down there, even today, there was a section of sidewalk removed by DPW because it was in bad repair next to the playground equipment. So that was removed, and it had been open for the weekend, but our DPW superintendent got it poured today, so that sidewalk is in. Porta potties are set up. That probably comes down in a couple days, and it's grassing up very, very nicely.
Great.
And checking all of these projects that we've had going on literally every day and on the weekend, we went to Riley Park and found a group of parents and grandparents who brought their smaller children there. They're in a group, a preschool group, and they came there. So we got firsthand reports on how good they were. And I'm going to let Ms. Jakeway tell you just what we heard firsthand from the parents and the grandparents of the kids there. So.
Sure. So when city manager and I, we visit our projects, and one of, during our little mini tours that we do to check on these projects, we were able to have a discussion with some of the visitors at Riley Park, and the feedback from the moms that were there, they've really enjoyed the improvements, but also the being able to come and visit our downtown and use the improved playscape. And they really enjoyed it and were very appreciative of the city. So
Great.
it was great to hear that from them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The rubber base was one of the comments that came from all of them. The ground, the foam
safe.
rubber, whatever.
All safe material, they call it.
Oh, is that what it is?
They
Fall safe.
actually went out of the way to talk about how much better that is than the wood chips and all of that people came accustomed to. And they also talked about the flooding or the other one, because the old designs, well, that's the way they did it. It served well probably for 20 years or longer, but the new system is working better. They were very pleased, and these are the people you put it in for. They've already discovered it. They're already there, and even after would have been on Saturday and Sunday, after the little festival, the art show down at the Atrium and Casey's, they had that. A lot of those people went to the park because I saw them. They left there and went to that park. So it is bringing people downtown. That little tiny effort. Well, it wasn't a tiny effort, $250,000, but between installation and the cost. The city council, they spent a whole lot of money to improve our park down there. And it's paying off. The
It
people
shows.
are visiting. So that's going to change the look downtown in terms of people. They'll be there. So I'm proud of what Miranda, Jakeway, Dan's team, they helped take it apart, put it back together and everything. But it's great.
Yeah.
And with the council's approval, we move forward. So.
Yeah, it looks great. Happy for your team too, Dan, because now you don't have to be maintaining the benches anymore. And the wood chips have been a heavy lift every year. So, I mean, it's wonderful that that's off your plate now and your team can focus on other areas of the city. So I was happy for your team with that too. And thanks again to the city council members for approving this. Cool. Okay.
I think that was pretty much it on
Before
Riley
we
Park.
continue, I'm sorry, do any of the commissioners who are currently with us virtually, do you have any comments or anything you wanted to add before we move on? I want to just check in periodically to make sure we're not missing anything from you.
No, I think everything's been said just greatly, so I'm just following along with the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, same for me. It's Michelle.
Okay, thanks. All right, we'll move forward.
Thank you. So that was all we had on Riley Park. If you haven't checked it out, go do it. It looks amazing. And then moving on into the summer concerts, I just wanted to update everyone that our summer concerts are about to begin. The first one is next Wednesday, the 22nd. And we have partnered with State Farm. They reached out to us and wanted to help sponsor one of the concerts. And so on the 22nd, along with our summer concert, there's going to be free Kona Ice that they are going to bring. So it's like a kind of like an ice cream truck with like shaved ice. So they're going to be out there. Again, those are from 7 to 9. And the following week will be the next concert. We have 2 in June, 3 in July, and 2 in August.
Great. And the sponsorship is currently for the June 22nd.
Yes,
Exclusive.
correct. To kick
Okay.
off the first concert,
Great.
they wanted to get it sponsored and get out there, and so there will be free Kona Ice.
Wonderful.
There are some yard signs out. I don't know if you've seen them. There's only a couple, but
No, they're
out
visible.
there, and yeah, so.
Dan, did, in regards to, where do I want to go? Oh, the mosquitoes. Is that all sprayed and ready to go? I guess it will be sprayed next week, right?
week, correct.
Okay, but we're all set for that for the summer as well. Good, thanks for taking care of that again. Also, excuse me, in the past, there's always been chairs out there. Do you need help? How do we put the chairs out and get all those together? And is that something that the commission can help out with prior to the concert, or?
Last year, we kind of moved away from putting the chairs out there. 'Cause
Okay.
the chairs we have, they have very skinny feet
Right,
on them, and they sink in bad, and we had a couple people actually tip over.
Oh,
elderly,
geez.
So we don't think we should do that.
Okay.
So we'll just, people, maybe you can put it on the website to bring their own chairs.
Perfect.
And whatnot, so.
Okay, and then do we have those flyers posted well, scratch that, we don't have a box down at the lake right now, and the one at the other park isn't up right now, so I was just going to ask if we were putting those flyers outside. I know they're in the stores and stuff, but I was wondering about our Parks and Rec boxes that we have up at Mercer Beach.
Yeah,
Of course, that's
so-
down, so.
It is on the website in a couple different places. I know I sent them out to the boards and commission, and they are in our lobby, and we put some up at the library, and I know we dropped some off at a couple businesses around the area as well for people to hand out. So if you want one.
Good, I saw a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple yard signs out as well at the major intersections. Thank you, DPW, again, for putting those out. But I think that's about it. It's on
Okay.
social media. It's on our calendar on the website. I think Ms. Jakeway has made an event on the Farmers Market Facebook page for each concert. So they are being well advertised, I think.
Good.
I think the turnout will be good. And hopefully we'll see you on June 22nd for the kickoff of the concerts.
All right, thanks, we can move forward.
Yep, that's all I have.
And Farmers Market update?
Sure, I can take that. So, as you all know, the Farmers Market is hosted every Wednesday at our public safety campus from 7 to 1. The market is going on its 6th week. The turnout has been really good. We're starting to get some produce in, mixed cabbage, rutabaga, lettuce, strawberries are coming in. So our farm vendors are bringing in their produce as it becomes readily available. We've had good turnout so far, averaging anywhere between 10 to 15 vendors, weather dependent. Similar to last year, summers have been a little bit rainy, but with the crushed asphalt that, with DPW's help and with council's support, that we've been able to implement over at our public safety campus, the soil in response to heavy rains and flooding has been resolved. It's not as bad as it was in past years with the heavy aggregate that was over there. But the market is going well. We've been advertising our events, and I'd also like to give a shout out and a big thank you to our management intern who's been helping me manage the farmers market this season, Miss Kaylee Hall. She also works in city administration and dabbles a little bit in police work, but she's been a big asset for me this year in working and getting the farmers market up and running. And with her assistance, we're looking to organize a summer bash, also scheduled for June 22nd. One of our vendors is a barbecue fanatic, so I'm planning on bringing him out to do some barbecue, and then looking to do a perhaps get maybe another food truck out there to do some type of dessert. But also we're going to be inviting a local musician out between 11 to 1 to do a little bit of live entertainment. This gentleman has worked at the Milford Farmers Market as well, so he's pretty familiar with participating at other markets, so we're looking to bring him out, but also just do kind of like a summer kickoff, since the official first day of summer, I believe, is June 21st.
Correct, yeah.
So kind of building some excitement around kicking off the summer and getting it up and going.
So we've got Summer
Chair-
Bash, barbecue, local musicians. This is like all the thinking outside the box stuff that's going to get people over here. That's wonderful.
We have one more, I think. Is it, can you give us a little update on our partnership with the new business across the street? All the insurance, shaved ice.
Yep, I think Miranda touched
Oh,
on
yeah.
I didn't hear it. My hearing is bad.
No, that's okay. Yeah,
But that went on in the farmer's market area. It's not farmer's market, but it's.
Hiram Sims?
Huh?
Yes.
Was he coming there too?
On Sunday, they were over here.
Oh.
And Saturday, they were over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over here. Different group, whatever,
Yeah.
but everybody's putting it together. People are utilizing our facility. We don't mind as long as they're coordinating. So everybody's trying to get a piece of the action. On the weekends, people are utilizing it for different things, and that's okay until it interferes, but it hasn't so far, so we're working on it.
Fantastic.
Anything else that we can add? Farmers Market is attracting people because of the parking. That was one of the best things we've done for the facility in years, is to upgrade that abandoned piece of property that had been neglected for years, so.
I would like to quickly piggyback off of Mr. Witt's comment about parking. One of the concerns that has been coming up in past weeks is with customers not utilizing the parking lot and thinking they can come through the where the vendors set up. That's one concern that we've been experiencing, is trying to navigate customers to use the parking lot that we have set aside for them, and trying to make sure no one drives through the market. We understand that some people want to get a little bit closer to the vendors. However, we do have paved parking for the customers to utilize.
They're driving up in the Stone area?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Huh.
Several of them
We
just.
went last Wednesday, and it seemed pretty clear to me.
They will drive right around the cones, over the cones, through the cones, drive right up there and get out, yes. Well, I mean, we saw that. I think this board, how many times have you said, put the signs up at the beach, right? Any of you folks on the rec commission paying attention to what was going on at the beach during the construction? They walked past all the signs that these folks put up, walk past them, put their towels down and put their kids down in the construction site and call it a beach moment. And literally dozens and dozens of them. So
Leaving it filthy, you know.
you can't fix that.
No.
You just, you know, that's, some people don't pay
They're
attention.
leaning their stuff right up against the signs.
Well, I remember there was to get some signs, but that's not the solution always either. Some people will pay attention and say, if you don't have any direction, they may not know what to do. But when it says beach closed every 10 feet, and they walk over that, and then they, in the middle of a construction site with cones everywhere and spikes up and wood, and they still set up for a beach evening and beach day, and they did. You've probably seen it. You drive by a lot. There was like dozens of them, dozens of folks. So anyway, that's the bad side of the beach. We're going to have that done pretty soon, though, and Dan's going to
Yeah, the
talk about
progress
that
is
later.
great.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
But just at that farmer's market, my wife and I went last Wednesday, later in the day, about 12:30, so it was near the end, and I made sure I kind of talked to all the vendors. They seemed pretty happy.
Oh, thank you.
And a lot of the produce vendors were sold out.
Oh, good. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, we're very thankful that Van Hootie and Springbrook Farms are able to continue being a presence at our market, because they definitely bring in people, so we're super thankful for their continued support. And one other item that we're discussing, I did survey our vendors, and one of the topics of discussion was potentially maybe changing the time of when we host our market, still having it on a Wednesday. However, we've been noticing that the first hour of the market is a little bit slower in comparison to later in the day. So to accommodate some of the lunch people or the folks who may want to visit the market later in the afternoon, potentially maybe extending it for one more hour and then doing a little bit of a later start time. That is something we're in discussion about right now, but all of the vendors are in favor of doing perhaps maybe an 8 to 2. That is something we're looking to potentially implement maybe later in the season, but that first hour typically is a little bit slower. And so out of respect for the vendors' time and our time, it's something we may consider this season.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable, for sure.
Any other questions about the farmers market that I could answer?
Any questions from our virtual commissioners? Okay, let's move on to the 2022 Summer Festival.
That's you, Ms. Jakeway.
Real quick, I just wanted to thank Ms. Jakeways too for all her hard work on the farmers market. She really does put in a lot of time and effort. There's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes, and she does a lot. And it's going really well this year, as it has in the past couple years, but she puts a lot of creativity and time into it, and we really do appreciate her.
Oh, thank you. Moving into the 2022 Summer Festival. During COVID and coming out of COVID, we had to cancel our summer event due to COVID and out of a safety precaution to keep people safe. But as we come out of this pandemic, we're looking to have our summer festival again this year. But also in response to the construction that is happening downtown in our Mercer Beach area. This event will not be as elaborate or as big as it has been in past months, just because there is a lot of activity happening in our downtown that we do need to be mindful of from a planning perspective. So we do intend to have our summer festival. It just may be a little bit different in comparison to past events. The Walled Lake Civic Fund is going to be sponsoring the firework event that brings in a lot of people, so we do intend to have that near dusk. And I believe the greenhouse is also contributing some funds to that as well. So we're looking to kind of do like a partnership with some of the downtown businesses in that area to do an event on June 25th, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Looking to bring in some food trucks and then perhaps some entertainment if we're able to schedule some. But we are a little bit delayed in our planning just because we have to be responsive to the Mercer Beach activity that is happening, which comes first. But we are planning to open up the beach and have it prepared so folks can utilize the beach during that time.
Oh, fantastic. With the Walled Lake Civic Fund, Mr. Johnson had talked to me about things they could do. Like in the past, they've sponsored the dunk tank, and I think there's been a couple other items too. Is that something we should open up a discussion with them about again, or is that, do you want to hold off on that till next year?
Let me get in the middle of that. I think we start talking about that now, whenever, maybe not all night tonight, but we had to delay it because we didn't know where we were going to be in terms of the construction. Right. And we still are not where I would have hoped to have been. And so I've been working with DPW and Ms. Jakeway our plan is to close it down, the whole area, as we have in the past, very similar. And do it early so people don't set up and kind of, they kind of squat on an area to get to see the fireworks 10 hours later, Right. We're going to close it down, and our plan now with Public Works is to get it set up, get it paved, and then redo the beach and get rid of all of the fencing that's there. It's all going to come down. Every bit of it comes down. That's the simplest way for now. And basically make it a beach festival where people can go to the beach all day long, and presumably there's going to be some activity in the neighboring businesses because they're set up with outside service and stuff like that. We know that's happening. We know there's going to be a car show down on the end. And so we're going to set up that way. Our plan as of today, and we're having meetings tomorrow, is to have the beach open with nice new sand, so a nice sandy beach, maybe more than it's ever been. The fences are coming out and probably rehabbed, and see how we do it and how we're going to go into phase 2 of the rehabilitation of the beach. Some issues with inflation and costs and all of that. We will have a beach open. We will be closing down. The vendors that want to come. We just talked about what all we can get, and we'll fill those spots as we go. We didn't engage them ahead of time because we weren't sure we were going to be able to do it. So essentially, we're bouncing off. Our festival is really based on what the Civic Fund's doing. And of course, some of the businesses are benefiting because they're partnering up and they're going to be outside. They got a liquor license. The Tiki Bar will be outside, and they will have music as they always do. I mean, that's a big day for them. The Greenhouse is sponsoring the car show, and we expect that'll be pretty busy. And of course, if we get some of the vendors in, and we're going to look today to try to get bouncy houses and all this stuff that we can add. We don't know what all we can get in the next few days. But we didn't engage them ahead of time because it would have been a mistake. We would have got everybody worked up. But we're working on that, and we'll know more tomorrow. We will have the party before we come back here. And so to the extent that we get more than we've already said, that'll be a good thing. So we'll encourage anybody who wants to participate, and we'll work them in. Ms. Jakoway's been given instructions to anybody who fits. You know, we got one vendor who wants 4 spots from the old days. He wants 4 spots, and that's good. And he's going to feed some folks. So we are bouncing off of Civic Fund. We're looking for them to do a good, they always do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and try to coordinate with the other businesses. So that's where we are. It's not going to be the thing of the past, but it'll be more beach than we've had in recent years because out of necessity. That's just, you know. So that's where we are on it.
Okay.
We're behind in terms of what we know is going to be in that closed area, but we will let people know by email or whatever if it's possible. So.
And the application for vendors is online?
Yes.
Okay. And did you want me to, do you guys have JR's number? Or RJ's number, excuse me? Johnson, do you want me to reach out to him about the dunk tank? Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah,
or
I can
not?
forward his contact.
I'm sorry?
If you want to forward his contact, that's fine. We'll figure something out with them.
If you do get food trucks and things, where will you locate that?
Typically, our food trucks have been aligned along East Walled Lake Drive, so we'll probably have our food trucks, food vendors along East Walled Lake Drive, as it has been in past years. 'Cause that's usually where people congregate to watch the fireworks.
Sounds great. So thanks for the extra work you're putting in the next 2 weeks. I know are just as busy as the other previous 4 for you, right? That's no stopping, so appreciate what you're doing. Any other questions or comments from our virtual team members from the commission? Okay, if there's nothing else to move forward, we'll go ahead and adjourn for this evening.
That sounds good to me.